Hello and a warm welcome to Goal Line Gossip. We are here right after game week 2. Well, one game still pending with Arsenal going against Crystal Palace. That's going to be on Monday night. We have a fantastic panel here for today. We have Tayyip joining us, who's representing Manchester United, and his fellow United fan, Saul, joining us as well. We have two Liverpool fans here in the Bong Scouser and the Kloppite, and I'm here just going to talk about, I'm going to banter all these teams here just because I don't get to talk about Arsenal today. Now, in terms of the next topic at hand, I'm going to ask Saul, are you going to get rid of the stash once United wins a game against a big team away from their home?
Guys, seriously, I didn't lose a bet. I was just bored. It got nothing to do with United, okay?
But are
But
you
yeah,
guys ever going to win away? Are you guys ever going to win away to a
I don't know.
big nine side, big nine?
I know. Yeah, we have a terrible away record, and I just don't know how to explain that. I mean, I can always say, hey, the players give up. They don't have the mentality like Roy Keane. But I don't think that's it, right? I mean, I don't know why our away record is so bad. Like, it's almost atrocious. But I'm not really sure this is a new season. So from that point of view, it's a new away record as well, and we lost the first match.
It
Uh,
is Saul. 1 second. It is atrocious to get 1 point out of 9 games for a
I
club of the
know,
size of Manchester United.
but I don't know
Is
why. What I'm trying to say is like I cannot understand why because it doesn't make sense. Because last season we also had the best home record in the league, and we had
did you?
the most clean sheets. Yeah, we did. I don't remember the last time we won. Sorry, we lost at Old Trafford. So from that point of view, we have a tremendous home record. So that is what I cannot understand. And maybe Ty knows. I have no idea. But what I'll say is, like speaking of Manchester United, I think some of the signings that were made in this transfer window were like good to have and not must have. Our first
Yeah.
target, Mason Mount. Uh, I think the rumors were that Erik Ten Hag was apparently obsessed with him. I don't know what kind of obsession that is, but the point is giving him the number 7 jersey, making him the first transfer target, paying 55 from a rival club. I don't know why. I still don't know why. Maybe Erik Ten Hag knows it, and maybe we'll see it in the coming weeks of how he integrates with the team. But looking at the last 2 games, he's out of position. It kind of looks like Erik Ten Hag is still trying to test where he fits well, uh, not being useful defensively. It's just running around. People are not passing to him, and whenever he gets the ball, he's always looking to like take a shot and make his point. Which I understand that comes out of frustration when you're not playing well or your team is not playing well. But then you got to keep calm. You got to keep your nerves. So I also think that Manchester United is not like they did not look sharp at all in the last 2 games, whether it's Wolves and Spurs. Yeah, we played badly, but it kind of seems like the players are not ready. I mean, Luke Shaw doesn't look sharp. We're making so many bad passes. Bruno Fernandes, we know he makes the flamboyant passes. So, you know, uh, maybe
He,
like
he
6
could
passes.
not keep possession in the attacking third. Bruno
Exactly. And
Fernandes.
But that was a crazy pass that Ravona went off.
yeah, of course. But at the end of the day, like from the captain, from the main guy, you expect him to, dictate terms. But that didn't happen. So my question is like, I guess we had a very crappy preseason because, and this is just my take, like whenever there's a US tour, I think it's more from a club's point of view, like it's more commercial rather than it's for, sorry, the players to integrate and practice. And that's why I've never liked US tours. I mean, these are young players, and it's the full squad as well. It's not just your main 11. You have your under 12, sorry, under 21s, under 16, and other reserves players as well. If you have a game at Las Vegas, I mean, I wouldn't care about football if I'm going there for a preseason and the press. And I had MUTV, so I was like watching the whole telecast. You have no idea how many interviews these guys do. You have no idea how many events they have for fans where they're just trying to sell the idea of Manchester United to the US audience. And I just feel like we did not have that proper preseason. Yes, we did not make the right signings as well, which means the players were not there for the preseason. But at the same time, just looking at these two matches, I think we are not sharp yet. We are not like, it doesn't seem like we are playing Premier League. It seems we are all we are still in preseason mode. So I think that's something which is very concerning and disappointing.
Do you think Erik Ten Hag is getting it wrong at United, or is this too early to say so?
Yeah, I mean, he's doing something wrong, 100%. I would say a couple of things, like the Mason Mount thing, 100%. Like, I don't understand why. And it's not a must have, right? The must have was the striker. Yes, we did sign Hoyland, but Hoyland is not also like the finished product, right? So, again, if Hoyland doesn't score, if Hoyland does not have an impact on the game right away, people will say, oh, okay, so who scores the goal now? Because Rashford is not great down the middle, and Martial is always injured. But I think he's getting it wrong because he's trying to like force certain things
Certain
into
players, maybe.
certain players and also the style. Like, I'll give you an example.
Yeah,
So I don't know why we play Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I know he's really good defensively, but we don't need to play him in every single match. Like, if you
right.
put Gallo in on the right, then he can actually make the overlaps with Anthony, because Anthony has just got one leg and he can only play in one style. And every single player in the Premier League knows how to defend against him. He's going to cut in at some point, and that's why he's not a threat. If your right back does not overlap, which Aaron Wan-Bissaka can't because he cannot come back because he doesn't have the pace, he doesn't have the passing quality. Our right hand side is non-existent. And if you look at the Wolves game, they were forcing us to play from the right.
I
And
think even a right back was a must-have for you this season. I think because
Exactly.
Dallo and
I think Gallo
one
is
because are they
okay.
like really top four quality right backs?
And
But
not,
Gallo,
not
I
No,
think
no.
I think
No, I
he's
think
and
doing
Dallo
very
is
and
well.
quite decent. From what I've
yeah,
seen, Dallo is quite
Decent, right?
decent.
Dallow's decent, but
Decent.
neither of them can play inverted. And Ten Hag is again from the school of thought where he needs inversion from fullbacks, and he doesn't
But
have that.
how many full inverted fullbacks do we have?
No, we don't
We
need
have very
he doesn't need inverted fullback, but he needs a very top quality like you guys I feel you
someone
guys
to
need
overlap. Yeah.
top quality fullbacks. Like even I don't think Luke Shaw he's a very good player, but he's not like that that of high level like
No,
City
no, no.
or maybe I
I
don't
think
know
I'd just
maybe
like to
what
Another
make a point
Robertson
here. I
was
think
a few years ago
another Yeah, and
or maybe
another
Bayern
thing
have.
one other thing that I don't like about Ten Hag is this forcing Rashford down the middle. I mean, I saw this
I was going to say
interview.
this.
I saw this interview with Gary Neville and Rashford. Like, it was during the break, and Rashford publicly he admitted that he prefers playing from the left. I mean, if you have a player who's publicly admitting that in Sky Sports, and your manager is forcing you down the middle, it doesn't seem right. And if you look at him, like in the last two games, he looks lost. I mean, he doesn't know when he has the ball, he doesn't know what to do with it. He doesn't know where to go because he's not that traditional number nine sort of striker, right? I mean, yes, he can
Mhm.
play off the shoulders. He's got that pace and all that. But when it comes to positioning, when it comes to holding the ball, having your back against the goal and playing through it, headers, he's not that guy. I don't know why he's getting forced. Same with Anthony as well. Yes, he plays on the right. Can't we try him from the left? Enough of this inverting of the winger, because everybody has figured out how he cuts into his left and takes a shot. Nobody else. I mean, the only time people didn't know that is when we scored against Arsenal in his first match. Once that goal went in, everybody knew, oh, this guy's going to cut in and try to score. Try to play him on the left, put in some crosses. I don't know. So there's a lot of like questions that needs answering. But yeah, I'm really excited or interested to see what Ty has to add to this because he's a Manchester United fan as well, and I'm really confused.
So
I'll,
I think, oh yeah, Jishu, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna get time to end this segment, and I wanted to take the Scousers take on this. So the
Okay.
club, what would you say about the game yesterday with Tottenham? Do you think United is getting it wrong? You know, with all the transfer strategies and
You know, with
kind of players are bringing in.
Yeah,
I
what's
think with
that
regards
like?
to the game, I'll say that we our first half was quite nice. We should have scored a couple of goals at least because we were on the front foot. That's something like that's the kind of football which we like to see, right? And we also saw a lot of that last season. But I don't know what happened after the break. Like the second half was so disappointing because it's like people forgot what their jobs were. They forgot how to play football, and they were not playing as a team. Again, it looked like a team of individuals, not a collective effort. So it was very disappointing to see that. Having said that, I think coming to the original question which you asked, if Ten Hag is getting it wrong at United, I think in certain aspects he's definitely getting it wrong because I was noticing an interview which he said during the preseason where he mentioned that my main focus is to make United the best transition team in the world. So that I think goes very much against his original principles. Like if we've all followed Ten Hag back from his Ajax days, right? Like he's not a particularly a transition based coach. He's more in the Pep Arteta line of thought, where he wants to dominate the whole game. He wants to pin the opponents down in their half, and it's like relentless pressing, attacking, and that kind of football. So now it was very worrying to see in preseason where he is totally changing his line of thought and he's wanting United to become a completely transition based team now, which is not a bad thing in hindsight. But I think the thing is that when you have a manager who has a very strong identity of a game of football and how it's supposed to be played, you're already 1 year into the process of implement of getting his players across and implementing that game style, and then again you go back to the drawing board and you switch back the tactics and you again go into the transition mode, which we were very much a team under
Right.
Ole. If you guys remember, like Solskjaer, we were only into
Yeah,
transitions, and we killed City and Arsenal and Liverpool multiple times, like with transition football. So it's a little like disheartening because we have very high hopes of Ten Hag because we know what modern football is, right? And we
yeah,
know what
it's
modern
like
football
probably you
needs.
cannot win the league with transition football. That's why
Correct,
we need to
correct.
be a
And also, I
And
feel
Taib,
also
I
controlling.
think the fact is we have discussed this many times. I think although United, ended up in the top four last season, I think from Erik Ten Hag, we did not see any style really. I mean, there was no footballing style that we could associate with United, right? If you talk about Manchester City, people would tell you that they would play possession football. If it's Liverpool, it's in pressing. But with United, we did not see any proper style. So I think the guy is still confused what to play. I think he's a good manager in the sense that he's good with his players. He can manage the players well. Yes, like I think Solish had made a point earlier in one of in one of our shows that he's handled a lot of situations, awkward situations at United, and he's handled them pretty well. So he's a good man manager. But when it comes down to his tactical ability, I'm not too sure actually.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
uh,
point. That's a good point. We haven't seen any tactics as such, like proper tactics which we can associate a team which like the style of play like City was and the style of play currently Arsenal has, Liverpool under like Klopp in the initial years. So that kind of style of play has not yet been stamped upon by Ten Hag yet. I hope that that will come soon. But seeing the signings which we bought this summer, it's a little confusing. See, Onana is a good one, right? Because Onana is a perfect goalkeeper for his style of play. But then again, if you switch to Mount, I don't think so. Ten Hag had a Mount type of player at Ajax, so you can't see the parallel there. But Mount, he is a transition base. Like he is the one who can find the space. Pocket of spaces. He can release that final pass, but he's not that the controller, a controller in midfield which
yeah.
you need
Yeah,
to implement your game of style.
correct,
So that
correct.
is one major aspect which I feel that we are still to improve upon. Let's hope that he gets it right in the like towards the latter half of the season.
Maybe you can get
Uh,
that with Amrabat. Maybe we can get that with if you sign Amrabat.
it's all just rumors, bro. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen because I think United desperately needed to sell to sign anyone after this. We've already like spent 170 million this summer, and the players
170 million
who were
isn't a
supposed to
lot these days, actually. If you ask me,
agreed,
it isn't a lot.
agreed, agreed,
Agreed,
agreed. But the
but
point
they
is that we
Yeah,
needed to sell.
that's 170 million is just Caicedo and Lavia.
Yeah, yeah, we needed to sell. We see,
but
and
that's
the
what
players who
Chelsea,
were
right?
going to go,
For other
the
teams,
players who were going to go, like Henderson was supposed to go to Nottingham for like 20-25 million. Maguire was supposed to go to West Ham for 30. McTominay had chances of leaving for West Ham for like 30-35. So you're looking at a good sale of around 80 to 85 million. But all of them are like stuck in our books. So I don't see anybody else
is it
coming in.
because of the high wages they're not willing to go?
Yes,
Or because
definitely. No, no,
Yep,
definitely. See, United pay a king's
100%.
ransom to players who wouldn't even like start at probably like teams like Aston Villa and all. So,
Yeah.
why would anybody else like take United's flops and give them that kind of wage? So, and they are very comfortable sitting on the bench at 200k a week. So why will they want to leave? So
And
I
not
don't
not
see
just
us.
flops. Do you guys know Brandon Williams? He's
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's on 80. I think he's on 60,000 or 70,000.
is he
Just
still
so
at
you know.
United? I think he was playing at loan or something or some club. I
Yeah,
don't know.
No,
but
no, he's
people we can't sell him because nobody can match his salary, and he's a young player, and I think he's decent. I don't think he's great, but we can't sell him because we pay him a lot of money. So, uh, bad contracts, huge salaries. That's been the problem as well, and I just don't know. I mean, I think we are going to spend pretty soon, like in a week, thanks to the Spurs record and the loss. And if we lose again next weekend, I can guarantee you we're going to spend at least 60 million. But then again, yeah, we've seen
Okay,
that
so if you not
that
lose,
happened.
we'll spend 30. If you don't
Yeah,
lose, you spend 30.
100%. Yeah, we bought Casemiro out of desperation didn't we buy Casemiro after losing to Brentford or Brighton?
Yes. Yeah,
We
yeah,
did
we did.
something like that, right? And this is not the first time we've done it. And
Yeah,
yeah, that's how it works in United under the Glazers. So it's not like we don't have the money. The whole farce about buy to sell, I sell to buy is I think it's fake, but it does make sense. Like from a point of view, what Ty was saying, we do not have the ability to
like
sell players,
this
which is
season,
really bad.
we saw every team like even City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea sell their fringe players. I think everyone like vacated the squad except for United, and that's pretty worrying.
I mean, we've
I
sold
think
some
he
players.
could
I
have
think
got
we
like
sold
80, like what he
Antony.
said, like he could have got 80, 90 million, and that could have got you probably Victor Osimhen with extra money.
Well, but I understand what you mean, but yeah, I mean, we cannot sell. Do you know Eric Bay is still there?
Is it? Oh, really?
And he's also holding the club for ransom because he's saying if you want to break my contract, you have to pay me 700,000
But
after
I
the
think I
Maguire
think
thing.
what Arsenal did a few seasons back, they just paid off their players. A lot of I think they paid a lot of their players.
You
I
know
think we
why
just
that
need to do
happened?
that.
You know why that happened? That's because of Arteta and Edu.
I do. Yeah, yeah.
These are people with strong mentality. They're not going to tolerate bullshit. We have a really crappy CEO and a director of football, and then the Glazers. And I don't think Erik Ten Hag has powers. And same with Solskjaer, same with Van Gaal, same with Mourinho. You remember Mourinho's second season when we finished second after City, and I would definitely remember. And they didn't invest a
Yes.
lot in the club, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
by
we
the end
bought
of
Fred, I think. Yeah, we bought Fred
Fred
and
yeah,
someone
Dallo
else.
and
but for
third choice
yeah,
goalkeeper.
yeah, and by the end of the season he was sacked. So
Can I chime in here just to give my 2 cents on this Manchester United team and how it's going? And has everybody given their opinions already?
No, I
Yeah.
don't think I have. I don't know. I like.
Well, maybe you
I just
give.
I don't. I think like I'll just make real points. I won't want to banter United. I never do on the channel maybe. So
Sure.
I saw like their midfield being overrun, and that's because of the system. Like Mount and Bruno Fernandes, no one wants to put in the legs. And what Spurs had, they had Højbjerg and Sar, who are like very like workhorse of players, and they just won because of that. I feel that's it. And we had a creator of this, obviously, in Madison. were just like taking the ball, holding a bit, and passing it around and like relieving the press of United. So I think that's where they won the game. And if Erik Ten Hag just has like that sense in him, just fix that, and I think it'll be a different team. That's what I'm saying. Because Casemiro cannot do it. I've seen Liverpool with Fabinho cannot play alone. These you cannot play alone. That's what I'm saying. At this age, maybe 5, 6 years ago they could have, but at this age, when you're 30, 33, you cannot do it alone as a lone CDM. That's the small opinion I have for United. I think you guys, Saul and Tayyib,
Quick,
will agree with it.
just a quick question for everyone. So, if you think, I mean, obviously we don't have Amrabat. We can probably play Scott McTominay with Casemiro. I get that, but do you think Mount or Fernandez they have the capability to drop back and do a job? Would you rate
They have,
those
but
guys?
maybe not consistently. That's what I'm saying. Like they are not defensive minded players, so like it doesn't come to them by natural instinct. That's what I think.
No, I think Mount is. I think he's someone I would consider to be a box to box player. But
He's
then
not.
again,
He's
when
not. He's not.
But maybe
no,
Eric Ten
he
Hag can
does, he
coach
does,
that in him.
he
It
does.
will
But
take time.
I think with him on the pitch, you are losing that controller. Okay, you need someone to control that midfield. I think FDJ would have been the perfect signing for United. I if United signed FDJ and they
I
would
don't
have
think
gone
even they
after.
need FT. They just need to make some smart signings. That's it. That's what I'm saying. Even there are a lot of players in this world. They could just pick the Napoli center mid and he would Anguissa. I think
They
he
could
would
buy.
work.
They could buy Nico Barella. Would be great.
Yeah, they could buy Barella also. It could work. There are a lot of players. It could work. I think United just go for the big names, the popular names, and that always leads into the downfall.
Mhm. I
I think
wanted to
having
listen.
said that,
Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead.
I'll just like to make one point. I think having said that, I think in that way it's refreshing to see United go for a young and upcoming striker called like someone
Right.
like Hoyland, because the United of old, you wouldn't have associated United ever
Yeah.
paying top dollar for this kind of a talent. I mean, the United of old would have probably gone off and taken somebody like Cavani back on a 1 year deal, or getting
Yeah,
Ronaldo back,
Falcao.
or maybe Benzema. So these kind of players, and in a way, it's refreshing to see United be a little proactive rather than reactive like that. But yeah, that's only linked to one signing, not the others. The others
Mhm.
are still a mess.
I would like to ask one question. Like, do United fans actually rate Anthony? This is because I have
I
some
don't
friends
think
who don't.
anyone. I don't think anyone does rate Anthony.
No, no, they
Personally, I
might
think
do.
with regards to no, I'll tell you. See, it's not like rating as such. I think, see, if a like a person who's been following United since last season, Anthony is somebody who provides balance into the team, right? He Because earlier United was completely left oriented, left wing oriented, with
Mm.
Shaw and
They
Rashford
still
on the
are.
left. We had nobody on the right, but Anthony has provided some sort of balance. But yeah, obviously not. He's not at all worth paying 80, 85 million odd, because
Like, do you think you could have done better at that position by getting a
Who?
much better player?
Who?
Much, not even.
Can you name five amazing world class right wingers in the world? Go ahead. Try.
Yeah, right
I think
wingers
I can
are
name one.
difficult
I
to
think
get.
I can name one. I think I can name one who's a
Hmm?
good priced,
No, no.
who's
You
English
can
Premier
only
League based.
name Mo Salah. Who else can you
No,
name?
no, no,
Tell.
no, 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 bro. I'm
No,
not
he's
talking
not
about
talking
Salah.
about Mohsen.
I'm talking about Olise. Olise is a
Yeah,
good player.
only said they
Yeah,
could have.
Olise.
Olise would
Fantastic
have
player.
made a.
I'm talking about world class level, like or near about world class. I do
No, no,
not know.
they don't
Yeah,
need
but
what like.
Anthony is not world class, right?
I
Yeah,
think
That's
I'm
I
what I'm
think
saying
the
you
saying.
could
guy
have
who
done
went to Milan,
considerably
Chukwueze was a great buy. Would have been a
than
great buy.
who are
Chukwueze,
who?
How can you say
Samuel
only?
Chukwueze.
But he's not right winger, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
He
he's
is
a right winger.
at
He's a
Villarreal.
right
Yeah.
winger who cuts in
Oh,
and
the
he's got
Villarreal, the
tremendous
Villarreal
pace.
player. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Fantastic player.
Uh,
And there are
that
many of them. And there's this Bilbao guy as well. I think can't remember his name. He's the brother of
Will
But
Inaki Williams. He's the
bro,
brother
Nico
of
how
Williams.
Inaki Williams.
Nico
how
Williams.
Nico Williams.
But
Yeah,
they
yeah.
they
That
they
guy.
they are not
how do
as
you
they
know
are
they're
not.
gonna be better than
Yeah,
Anthony?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
That's what
right
I'm
They
saying.
are
now
better.
in world
They are better. They are
in world
definitely better.
football,
No, no, no,
there's
no, no,
only
no.
two or three proven right wingers: Bukayo Saka, Riyad Mahrez, and Mo Salah, and maybe Rodrigo of Manchester, sorry, Real Madrid. That's it. Who else is there? Tell me.
You
Prove it.
are just talking about the big names. You are just talking about the big names, but when you compare how they are playing, I think there are a lot of players who fit in better. Like I
I mean,
mentioned, like
even I
Nico
think
Williams.
Like Jared Bowen would have been better than Anthony. That's what my opinion is. I don't
Okay,
know.
that's a bit too much, but
No,
I
I
think even
think he's a
Jadon
good
Sancho, if
player.
you
He's
ask
a
me,
good
Jadon
player.
Sancho is a better right winger than Anthony.
listen, I feel like it's not about getting world class players or who's better
Yeah,
than
yeah.
who else.
No,
I think
my question is, do you think you could have done considerably better, even not buying world-class players, not like Mo
yeah,
Salah or Saka or
I
any?
absolutely, and I think we can do better with him on the left. I feel so. That's point number one. And second, yes, we could have done better with somebody else. And the reason why I say it is because he's very one-dimensional. When you come to the Premier League, and if big teams figure you out the style, and he's also a forward, right? So he's going to be a part of every attack on the right hand side. And if a team like Manchester City, or even not even Manchester City, let's talk about Spurs, right? If Spurs figure out how you're going to attack, if Spurs know how Anthony is going to proceed, cut him to the left and try to shoot or pass, your whole, that threat is
Yeah,
missing, and that's just
yeah, yeah.
because of what Anthony brings to the table. He's left-footed. He's
So what?
inverted.
So what? He's left footed. Saul, 1 second. I'm just going to tell you
So
something.
what he's saying that
He
he cannot
doesn't
go
bring a lot
outside.
to the table.
I'm
He
telling
cannot go
you.
down the outside.
Take it from me right now. Okay. Arjen Robin never went outside. Listen to what I'm trying to say next.
Iron Robin also
But he's
played
not
in
as good
the
as Iron Robin.
Bundesliga.
1 second. 1 second.
But he's not as good as Iron
I
Robin.
did
That's what I'm
not
saying.
did not get the opportunity to speak even once throughout the segment. So let me have my go and zip it for a second. I have seen Anthony play at least 14 to 16 games. Every game, he takes a shot, he either scores or he hits the post. He hits the post. I've
You've
seen
been
him hit
watching
the
the wrong games, man.
it does not matter. It does not matter. I've seen
I've
him.
seen his cup shots
I
also,
have I have seen
even
him
on his left.
for a long range curler, somebody that is coming from the right wing. Very few people in world football can do that. Mo Salah cannot do that. Neither can Bukayo Saka. He
Yeah,
has the
okay, but
ability. This will come. Trust me, the whole thing will come full circle when he will start finishing those goals, and he is gonna slot them in
no,
top corners. If
but the
they,
I
fact
don't
that
think so.
listen, the
I
fact
don't
that
know.
you know how he's going to score and the type of shots he takes
Yeah,
and
yeah.
where the ball is going
but
to
he's
go
that damn
is
good.
yeah,
He
but he's
will.
predictable. He is really good. I get it, but as a
He,
defender, like when
he's
you're setting up
predictable.
your
Messi
defense,
was Messi was predictable too. It doesn't matter. He was
No,
predictable.
Messi was not predictable.
Also, I
Bro,
Messi.
think I think the
everybody.
simple thing is he cannot beat his man. He over
did you
exaggerates with the
did you
football.
did
Okay,
you fall in
he
love
would
with
have made
Anthony
a
after
good.
they scored against you in the first match, or what?
I
I
think
would
Anthony.
I would take Anthony over Bukayo Saka if I could trade right
Oh,
now.
Oh my God!
What?
Please.
I think
Wait,
Jishu
wait,
is.
wait, wait, one second. Saul, I think you got your
Oh
headline, bro.
my
You got your
God!
headline.
Yeah,
You got your
I think
headline.
people are
You
going
can-
to like
No,
really
no.
love or hate this channel thanks to you.
I'm
Oh
telling
my
you,
God!
I have
You
seen
don't have to
Anthony.
say that. You know that, right?
I've seen
It's-
Anthony.
Oh my
I've
God!
seen
I've had a
Anthony.
friend who like I know when Anthony signed for United, everyone was excited and everything. I had one United fan who was who is still a very realistic fan. He said, I don't rate him. Like just get him out of my club. I don't. He probably watches. I don't know
No, I
Ajax
don't.
or something. I
I'm
Listen,
not saying like get him out of the club, but
we'll be
if
friends even after a couple of years, 2 3 years. Let him get to the age of 24, 25. We will revisit the same thumbnail, bookmark, whatever you want to call this video.
and it's not like and maybe you will lose this like what it's not a bet, but you lose this topic, Jishnu, because Anthony might not be even play under the right manager to get the best out of him. That could also happen.
That's true, but I think he will. Eventually, he will. The
But
left foot
just
that
can
he
I
has,
ask you?
he has a golden
I
left
think
foot.
he does not get into attacking positions. He does not have that, intuition to get in the right
He's a
positions.
goal
That
scorer as a right winger, and this modern football is such that as a right winger and a left winger, you need to have enough goals. I think Sterling used to have for Man City, Liverpool always had, and even Arsenal are getting it through Martinelli and Saka. So he's not a goal scorer. Like
I
he
think
doesn't have that
he's
natural.
just getting unlucky. I think he's hitting the
no,
post and
for
missing the.
me,
He's
for
not
me, he
hitting
does
the
not have
post
the
that
right attitude.
often.
For me, he
Just
does
can
not
I ask
have
you
the
a
right
question?
attitude to play as an attacker for a top team.
No, no, I
Can I
think
ask you
he's
a question,
Simple as
Vishnu?
that.
I
that was a
think
question.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
think
was
I
it?
think yeah, I've seen you like even right on the group, and especially with what you said right now, I'm very
Your hate
perplexed
for
as to why
Saka.
you don't like. Yeah, why don't you like Saka, man? He's borderline world class.
Because
Yeah, yeah. He's the next elite. If he can
I'll,
make
He
that
is
step, he's
world
the next.
class. If you ask me, he's already world class.
I'll tell you why. Because I have seen him under pressure, Saka,
Yeah.
and he does not score. I don't think
But
he's
not for England though. Not for England though.
not for
Maybe
England.
in Arsenal colours he does, but not for England.
But
I just don't. I don't think. I think
but
Martinelli.
then again, people will say like Haaland doesn't score in the big games. Even Harry Kane didn't score in some of the big games. That happens. Like, but it's the consistency. Even you have to do it against the little teams, and that's what
Listen, can I
matters.
can I explain to you as an Arsenal fan? I've watched each and every game for the past I don't know how many years. When Alexis Sanchez got the ball, I would feel like something's gonna happen. I could feel it
Yeah.
inside of me.
Yeah.
When Thierry Henry got the ball, I would feel something can happen. Robert
But you
Perez.
cannot put that even
Hold on,
Mohamed
hold on,
Salah is
hold
not
on.
Thierry Henry.
So before this, you were saying Anthony is world class and he's going to be
Exactly,
fantastic. And
exactly.
now you're
When
comparing the actual generation's talent from your academy and saying, I don't think he's Thierry Henry, man. I don't rate him.
I don't think no one's Thierry
listen,
Henry.
When
Anthony
Anthony,
Anthony has a good shot technique that does not make him better than Saka. Really.
Even Saka has a much better shot technique, I feel,
no,
somehow.
no, no, I don't think so.
No, no, no. Anthony has a good shot technique. I would
I
say
think
that, but
any
he
of
has
the
a
United
disgusting
fans
attitude.
will give you like Anthony and probably 200 million for Saka right now. I
Hundred
think if
percent,
they had.
100%. Saka scored a brilliant goal last weekend, no, with a
Yeah,
fantastic
Yeah,
shot
yeah.
technique.
let him do that regularly, then I'll believe.
He
Otherwise,
He
he's sky's
does. He gets
Anthony even
15
doesn't
goals a season.
Anthony even doesn't do it
no,
regularly.
he never scores long rangers. I've rarely see Saka score long
That's why
rangers.
you hate
Arey,
him. He doesn't score long ranges. Come
Even
on,
Salah doesn't score long ranges anymore. It's just like the numbers. Numbers matter somehow.
Danny
His numbers are
Drinkwater
good.
scored a lot of long ranges. Does that make him better
Oh,
than
Tom
Gerrard?
Huddleston. Tom
Listen,
Huddleston. I remember
once
used to
once
score
you
like bangers from center mid, from
forget that
halfway line.
Darren
forget
Gibson.
Yeah,
forget that
Darren
comment,
Gibson.
forget that comment about Anthony and Saka. What I'm trying to tell you is that in my team, when Gabriel Martinelli gets the ball, I feel like something can happen, and I don't feel the same confidence with Saka as much. I know he still produces. He still produces because his
Whenever
ball.
I watch Arsenal, I feel he's a threat. I don't know, like from an opposition point, I think he's still. Whenever I watched him, not
Bhai,
always, I
next segment,
watch
next
Arsenal.
segment. Chalo, chalo, next segment.
No, no, like, this was getting interesting, but okay.
But anyway,
But anyway, thoughts on
let's
United.
talk.
Your thoughts on United. Last, you just finish it off. I think Tayyab gave his.
Yes, yes, yes. So, listen. Jokes apart, listen, please make sure that you guys don't take all of my comments seriously, especially about Bukayo Saka and Arsenal, just because I'm going through a little bit
Why are
of
you
a
going lower? Why are you going lower?
just because I'm
Why are you
uh,
sinking down?
just because right now I don't have a lot of confidence with my team. I thought we were gonna play really well, and I just don't see that happening. And I think Newcastle's playing better
It's
than us.
been one game. It's just been one game.
Yeah, which we won as well. I mean, we got the 3 points, and
We
tomorrow,
probably win against Palace also.
yeah, probably. But anyway, what I'm trying to about United, Manchester United, any business or organization, it is never bottom up. It's always top down that you got to work on. Okay, and if the people at the very top of the hierarchy are not stable, if you don't have quality people at the top, it's always going to be felt at the bottom. Trust me, you'll never find stability. And why am I saying this? Because Glazers as ownership have failed. It's not always about spending money. You can spend a lot of money, you have a lot of money and you blow it around, you might not be able to create a successful business or a successful organization. The Glazers have thrown a lot of money around. Maybe it's not their money. Maybe United itself is such a commercial, giant that they produce their own money. It doesn't matter. I'm not talking about the sources of funds right now. Glazers have not spent wisely, and neither have they recruited well enough for the management team. I do not think they have the right level of sporting directors at the helm. They don't have financial um, managers, CFOs, or something that can really, really take care of the money well and make sure all in all, before the football manager and the coaches and the players, there's a lot of people that are working at the top that takes care of administration, that take care of negotiations, that take care of scouting talent, that take care of youth system, and then assimilating them to the first team and stuff like that. I think United right now is a shambles in general. Until such time the top is fixed, I don't think the bottom will be fixed ever. That's my generic opinion.
Yeah, I
I think
think United fans already know that. That's why they
Yeah.
get the green and yellow scarves out every season.
exactly. And then that's simply put, like unless you guys fix, I'm not saying get an Edu or something like. I'm not saying that Edu is the best sporting director out there, but you got to have proper people in the right places. Chelsea has
I
done
think
that,
United can get any sporting director in the world. It's just the Glazers don't get it. As simple as
right?
that.
Because they will want certain control, and Glazers don't want to give them. They want puppets in their hands. That's the problem. The right sporting director, for example, Edu, right? He's convinced Kroenkes used to be very stingy. You guys know this already. Like you've been watching Premier League for a while. How the hell did he convince our club to spend? We have been spending steadily for the past 3 years. Obviously, Edu is convinced the Kroenkes that Arteta is the man. This is the time. We have a crop of generational players coming through the academy, and we have unearthed gems like Martinelli for £6 million, and we have found a lot of key talent in a lot of positions. We have found players like Martin Odegaard for £30 million. This is the time to invest. This is the time to invest and make it such that we never fall back again into that abyss. So you need that kind of a character in your, not in your dressing room only, but in your administrative panel as well. That's what I would say. Right? You're on mute, Taib. You're on mute.
I'll just put one last point to close this topic. I think every problem of United ever since the Glazers have come in, right, since 2005, every problem of United is down to the Glazers. Just that we had Sir Alex from 2005 till 2013 to mask over those problems, but ever since Sir Alex has left, the cracks have
Tapering of the
been
cracks,
really
yes.
been revealed, and now there's nobody who can paper over the cracks, and they are all being exposed. So the every problem, the root is Glazers.
You're 100% right. They get better ownership. I'm telling you, within a couple of years, they'll turn around.
Thank you for watching that video. We are a community of passionate football fans, and we post weekly videos on transfer news, match reactions, tactical analysis, and sometimes just gossip on the most exciting sport in the world. If that's what you like to hear, then hit that subscribe button and join the conversation with us.